Hi there everybody, Ricky Cool here. This is a double reed plate marine band and this video is a chance for me to do a comparison between a double reed plate harmonica and a standard marine band, in this case a marine band crossover. Both of these are in the key of C, by the way. I was given this harmonica to try out by a fabulous harmonica builder, customizer, repairer here in the UK. John Cook is his name, and I'm going to give you a link to John's website in the description because it's well worth checking out. So the theory behind double reed plate harmonicas is that the double reed plate allows the harmonica reed a greater distance in which it can vibrate, and therefore as a result it will give you a little bit more volume but also more expression. So we're going to try and put this to the test and see what you think and see what I think. So the first thing, the obvious difference is the weight. Double reed plate, this is obviously a heavier instrument. When I'm holding it and playing it, it's not too much of an issue, although I am very conscious of the difference in weight because I'm used to playing regular harmonicas. And I would say the actual way the harmonica has been made is lovely. It's lovely to hold, it's lovely to play. What John does is he replaces the wooden comb of a standard marine band, a marine band Deluxe in the case of this harmonica, and it's been replaced with an engineering plastic called Delrin. John buys lengths of this plastic and then he manufactures the comb himself. The thing about Delrin is it's very, very stable. You can machine it and polish it to a very, very smooth finish. And if you do the same with your reed plates and make sure your reed plates are absolutely flat, then it's going to make a really top-notch seal between the reed plate and the harmonica comb. So that's the comb of the harmonica. The other issue that immediately strikes me is, I mean, if you were trying to do this yourself with some old reed plates you might have knocking around, is it must take quite a lot of precision to enable you to get the two reed plates, the slots in the two reed plates, to line up absolutely exactly so that your reed can vibrate without catching the slot at all. And I'm going to come back to that later on because it is an issue. So I think before we do the actual comparison, let me take the harmonica apart and let's have a little look at what's going on when the cover plates are taken off. Okay, so I've taken the cover plates off the harmonica, and I've also taken the cover plates off another marine band Deluxe, so we can just do a quick little look at the differences. So we're looking at the blow reed plates. Now you can see that John has actually used more screws when fixing the reed plates to the comb, and you can also see even from this angle that by the amount of shadow that there is extra thickness there in which the reed can vibrate. If I just tilt this slightly, you'll see that more clearly. So this is the double reed plate harmonica, and here's the standard marine band Deluxe. So there, the theory being that having that greater space for the reed to vibrate is going to enable you to get more volume and also more expression when you play. I'll just turn this around. From when you look at the draw reed plates, obviously with the reeds being on the outside, it's you can't actually see that, but you've got the double thickness there, so it will be the same. The reed will have a greater space in which it can vibrate. Okay, I'll put the cover plates back on, and then we'll do a little test comparing the double reed plate harmonica to a standard marine band crossover. Okay, I've put my harmonica back together. It's not my harmonica, it is at the moment. And now let's give it a little bit of test to see if we can see what difference there is tonally, also in terms of expression and in terms of volume. So let's start with some blow notes. We'll go hole 1, hole 4, hole 7 and hole 10. In other words, the note C on the harmonica. Right, this is the double reed plate harmonica, hole 1. That's me playing at my full volume. So let's now go to the marine band crossover. Well, I definitely feel that the double reed plate harmonica is louder, and it also, to my ears, has a slightly more rounded tone. Let's try hole 4. And on the crossover, quickly back to this one. Okay, no sort of cupping or anything like that going on. Just the harmonica. Double reed plate. To my ears, this does have a superior sound. Hole 7. Not so noticeable. This might be down to the fact that obviously the higher I go, the smaller the reeds get, and maybe the differences aren't going to be so noticeable. Hole 10. I can't really notice a great deal of difference there. Let's try some draw notes. Let's try the for cross harp players, 2-hole draw, your root note, your really important draw note. So 2-hole draw. There's the crossover. This is with me with the lip purse embouchure. This seems to have a fuller sound to me. Let's try hole 5 draw. Good, awful. Let's try tongue blocked. This has a brighter sound. I quite like the more rounded tone of the double reed plate. Let's go higher up the harmonica. Let's do hole 8 draw. Again, the higher up you go, the difference isn't perhaps quite so noticeable. Let's try now going from my quietest sound to my loudest, back to my quietest. In terms, so in other words, dynamic range. Whole 4 blow. And on the crossover, well, I think the work that John's done on this harmonica, certainly when you're starting from kind of nothing and bringing the note in, the reed is very, very responsive. Let's try a draw note. Let's try whole 6 draw. And on the crossover, again, perhaps not quite so noticeable. I thought that the crossover responded quite well, as did the double reed plate harmonica. So what are my overall impressions and feelings about this? Well, I know that from talking to John about it, one of the issues might be, if you are the sort of player, for instance, if you play in a band and you're playing out amplified harmonica and you're playing sort of full tilt all the time, I can't really see that there's going to be much of an advantage in having one or a set of these harmonicas, because you're using a mic, and I think the chances are you're likely to sort of wear the harmonica out or reach a point where you've got to replace the reed probably more quickly if you're playing hard all the time, because of that increased distance that the harmonica reed is vibrating. And we all know that when after a period of time they'll go slightly flat, or you need to retune them, and then eventually, you know, you can't do anything with your reed and you've got to replace it, because, or you've got to buy another harmonica, because metal fatigue has just made the reed, it's either broken or it's just not going to do anything for you in terms of response. So my own feeling is that if you were an acoustic player, then yes, it might be nice to own some of these, because again, I think there is the chance to sort of play with a little bit more expression. These are sort of quite, you know, marginal differences. I think you'd want to be somebody of a fairly high standard, playing where you really do need to get the finer nuances out of your instrument in order to really justify using a double reed plate instrument. You know, you'd be paying a lot more money for this, so you've got to think about that and you know, be able to justify it from a musical point of view. So how expensive are these? Well, I know that if John was making these and selling them and wanted it to be a commercial proposition, you would be talking about a very expensive instrument, well over £100, and maybe closer to 200. I don't know exactly, but John has got one or two little ideas up his sleeve to make this a more affordable option for people to perhaps have a go at or to choose. Here in the UK, in October is probably the main, well, it is the main harmonica festival here in the UK. It's run by our organisation, Harmonica UK. I'll give you a link to their website as well. And I know that John is going to be giving a presentation at this year's festival about how he makes these, and generally talking about how you might be able to do this yourself. I know he's going to be actually making up a number of these to sell at the festival at a heavily discounted price. I think he's basically just going to cover his costs. So do get along to that festival if you can, because you will probably have a chance to picking up one of these at a price which you can afford and think, well, yes, it's worth me having one of these to play with and to enjoy. But he's also going to talk about how you might manufacture one of these yourself, and I think he's going to have some specialist tools that he'll make to help you line up the slots on the two reed plates absolutely accurately, so that your reed will vibrate freely. So there we are. I mean, it is a nice instrument, don't get me wrong, it's really nice, it's lovely to hold, the weight I don't mind, it's lovely to play. Can I justify buying a set of these myself? Probably not, but I think I might well be trying to muscle my way to the head of the queue at the October Festival to buy one of these off John. Unfortunately, I've got to send him this one back. But I think I might be knocking a few people out of the way in the queue to try and get to the front so that I can own one of these and enjoy playing it, because it certainly is really nice to play. So there we are. I hope you found this useful, and until the next time, this is Ricky Cool signing off. Cheerio for now.